Now, a couple of bits of absolute hypocrisy, absolute madness, a little bit to do with COVID, a lot to do with politics, and as always, my dear friends in the media. You know, every single day I sit here, and I love being honest with you, kind of the only business I know is the media business, right? I know the politics business as well. And my phone just runs so silent with people who work in the business who I used to speak to 5-10 years ago, because they hate, like a magician, when you expose their tricks. But I'll keep doing it, because for you to be a better informed citizen, for you to be a better informed voter, you need to understand the games that are played, firstly by politicians and then secondly by the media. Let me explain. As a motorsport fan, it sucks that the Australian Grand Prix has been cancelled. Second time in a row due to COVID-19. Daniel Ricciardo speaks on the behalf of all of us who were looking forward to this event a little later in the year in Melbourne.
But it's hard. Obviously, I'm really gutted we're not coming back home to Oz this year. Well, I'm not coming home. For the others, it's not their home. But I know everyone enjoys the Australian Grand Prix and coming to Melbourne. And yeah, it hurts. We haven't been there now for 2 years. So look, we got to look forward and hope that 2022 works out.
Now, of course, this should be taking place. All of these major events should be taking place. Things should be getting back to the new normal as fast as possible, right? But what about the spin that the Victorian government tried to put on this today as the people who, of course, are ultimately responsible for the running and thus the glory of something like a Grand Prix in Victoria? Martin Pakula was the minister sent out to talk about all of this today, and he blames, among other things, well, Canberra, of course.
The clear expectation was that Australia would fundamentally be fully vaccinated by October. It's become clear that we'll be nowhere near those levels. And then the decision of National Cabinet on Friday regarding the halving of international arrivals really made it extremely difficult for these events to go ahead.
Okay, hang on. So when it comes to vaccinations, everyone who would be coming here would be fully vaccinated. They're all willing to do their 2 weeks quarantine in sort of swanky bits of Melbourne, fine. It would be about whether crowds are allowed back or not whether or not the event could run or not. But what about that last bit? And the decision by National Cabinet to cut the number of international arrivals coming into Australia is one of the reasons why the Grand Prix won't be happening. I wonder if there's an example of a Victorian politician who went to National Cabinet saying we should cut the number of international arrivals regardless of whether it means things like the Grand Prix disappear.
If it's a choice for me between less people coming back, and yes, there would be pain with that, or locking the whole place down, that's not a difficult decision.
It's Canberra's fault for doing exactly what we wanted them to do.